Hey guys, what's going on? InsidiousSwede back again here for another YouTube video, and today I wanted to do a manga haul. Now, the reason why I didn't have one out for January is because, and I mentioned this on Twitter, I really didn't buy any manga during that month, and over the past week I seem to have completely done a 180. I have a lot of stuff with me. Almost all of it showed up yesterday. I do have a couple more things coming in tomorrow, but I figure I could save those for a second manga haul video at some point during this month. So hopefully you enjoy this one, and let's get into it. So the first manga that I'll talk about is one that I already did a video on this channel, and that is Apple Black. This is the manga series drawn and written by White Manga, who's actually another YouTuber, which is awesome because I've been a fan of White Manga's YouTube videos for a long time. I knew of Apple Black, and I was going to read it online at some point, and then I found out about the physical releases, and so I definitely had to support him and Saturday AM and pick up a physical copy of his series. Unfortunately, I haven't started it yet. I've been very busy with college, and starting a new manga right now isn't really high on my priority list, but I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be a fantastic read, and definitely go ahead and check out White Manga's YouTube channel if you haven't yet, for sure. So nice to get Apple Black volumes 1 and 2. Next up, just a bunch of random volumes here. First up is the 5th omnibus to I Am a Hero. This series for me has been a great read. It's been quite a few months since I read volume 4, so I have forgotten a bit of the plots, but looks like these omnibuses will be speeding up the release dates in the coming months, or for this year at least, so that's exciting. One of my biggest complaints, not only with I Am a Hero, but also Dark Horse, is their release schedule, so hopefully they're fixing that for 2018, and yeah, I'm excited to get into more of this series. It's been a fantastic zombie apocalypse survival series for sure, so nice to get Volume 5, or Omnibus 5. After that, I have Volume 6 of Mushoku Tensei. I might be dropping this series. It was really interesting how it started off. A guy essentially is reincarnated into a fictional fantasy land, but has retained his mental capacity. Is that even the right word? He's essentially remained his same age in his brain, but is reborn as a baby and now is a little kid. He's this guy right here. I even forget his name. Yeah, Rudius, that was it. And there's a lot of, stuff in the series that just kind of makes my eyes roll. Some of the comedy is all right, but overall it's just been okay. Again, I think the premise was the main intrigue, and now that we're actually into the actual story, it's less interesting, but I don't know. If Volume 6 blows me away, I guess I'll stick with it. If not, I'll be ending Mushoku Tensei with this volume. So next up is Volume 19 of Haikyuu. Not much more to say on this title. Most of you know how I feel. It's a fantastic series. The anime is amazing as well. Nice to get Volume 19. After that, I got Volumes 4 and 5 of Welcome to the Ballroom. This is a series that has been fantastic. Now, I haven't seen the anime yet, which I've heard even better things about, so I'm looking forward to that. But I think the best thing Welcome to the Ballroom has done for me is they've made me care about ballroom dancing. Now, generally, again, I have no interest in ballroom dance, but from the way that the characters are portrayed to the way that the movements are drawn, it's very intriguing, and despite that, it's been very exciting. So I'm looking forward to getting into more volumes. It's been great, and overall, even if you aren't a fan of this kind of, of ballroom dance or this kind of premise, I think you could still enjoy it very much, because it's one of those things that kind of transcends what it's actually about, due to pure interest. So I'm excited, and yeah, definitely a manga that I'm going to be continuing to buy for a long time. Here's a new series that I've heard tons of people raving about, but I know basically next to nothing about, and that is Made in Abyss Volume 1. I've tried on purpose to avoid any real information about this series. I like to go into manga series like this with a lot of hype and anticipation, basically blind. I find that I enjoy it more because going in with expectation is there's always a burden to like something when you know a lot of other people do. And so Made in the Abyss, or Made in Abyss, excuse me, is a series I've tried to avoid having that happen to me. I don't want to know anything about it. I don't want to know any other thoughts. I just want to go in completely blind and open to whatever this series is about. So I'm looking forward to it. As you saw there are some beautiful color pages. The one thing that I do know is that despite the childish nature of the characters, the series is actually more mature than that. I believe, let's see, yeah, it has a older teen rating. So I'm excited for it, guys. Definitely a manga that I will be reading very soon. Let's see here, next volume. I got volume 3 of Bungo Stray Dogs, which I think that's the weirdest name for anything ever. I enjoyed volume 1. I can't say that it blew me away or I loved it. I never ended up doing a first impressions on it just because I kind of forgot. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I don't know if it's going to be a manga that I'll continue with. Not because it's bad, just because there are so many other manga I'm trying to keep up with, and a series like this is something that I feel comfortable putting to the back burner for a while. So maybe I won't buy any more for a little while, but I figured I'd at least get one more volume to make a final decision on whether I should just drop it and forget about it, or just hang on a bit and you know, not buy any more or read any more for a little while. So we'll see, but nice to get volume 3 of it. So yeah. Alright, so next up is a manga series that I haven't heard anybody talk about, and up until about a week ago, I didn't even know it existed. And that is Volume 1 of Joanna and the Dragon Newt's 7 Kingdoms. This is one of those titles that going into it, kind of like Made in Abyss, but a little bit different. Not only do I know nothing about it, I know that I don't know anybody else that knows anything about it either. So it's definitely an unknown series. I don't know if it's going to be terrible or amazing, but I'm looking forward to giving it a shot and seeing what it's all about. The artwork looks okay, and I guess I'll show you really quick. If you guys want to know the premise, you can pause the video and look at it there. This is basically my knowledge of this series as well, so yeah. But if any of you have heard of this manga, I'd love to know, because again, it's one of those series that nobody's talked about and just kind of popped up out of nowhere for me. So yeah, figured I'd give it a shot. The next new manga series to the collection is Volume 1 of Arakawa Under the Bridge. Now, one weird thing, this is a vertical release, but it's done in a different style and format. It's a bit taller than your standard vertical. As you can see, it's almost as big as a Viz Signature Edition, so that's a bit weird. One of the main things that I love about vertical, their volume releases, is that they all line up perfectly. And so this is going to drive me a little bit crazy while it's on the shelf, but if it's a good manga, it's a good manga. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be interesting. And this is another title that if you guys know anything about Arakawa Under the Bridge, I'd love to know, because it's a manga that I'm going in with basically no knowledge of, and it looks like even a color page as well to start off the volume, so that's pretty good as well. But yeah, nice to have that. Here we go. Volume 2 of the case study of Vanitas. I did a first impressions on Volume 1. I really enjoyed it. I like the kind of style. It's a mixture, and I think I said this in the first impressions video, it's kind of a mixture between shonen and shoujo. It kind of toes the line, and I like that. I know it's very interesting the way that it's done. The artwork is insanely good. The kind of detail squeezed into a lot of these panels is fantastic, especially in some of the backgrounds. And yeah, there's a great, you know, cityscape shot there, so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. But yeah, really good first volume, interesting idea. Definitely different though from the normal stuff that I read, but overall there's no way that I'm not going to continue with it for now. So yeah, nice to get volume 2 of the case study of Vanitas. Here we go. Next volume is Smokin' Parade Volume 3. And as I mentioned when I got Volume 2, it looks like the explicit content is going to be a continuing theme. Volume 1 of Smokin' Parade did not have any of this cellophane, but Volume 2 did, as well as the warning sticker down there on the bottom. But as I mentioned when I talked about Smokin' Parade, the artwork is insanely good. It's the same Jinsei Kataoka, the same person who does or did Dead Man Wonderland. So if you're a fan of that artwork, and as well as Kazuma Kondo, who also did the story for it. So if you're a fan of Dead Man Wonderland, definitely check out Smokin' Parade. So far, it's been great. And the next 2 volumes that I have, this is the first time, and I actually checked my order history, this is the first time I've bought a volume of Berserk in over 2 years. But I figured it was about time that I get basically all the way caught up, and so I got volumes 35 and 36 of the series here. Nothing special. But I will mention that, unfortunately, I mean, I'm not surprised, but they have the new spines. I do have the older volumes, and that's going to drive me crazy, just like the oversized volume from Arakawa Under the Bridge. I don't know, I'm weird like that. I like things to match and look good on the shelf. That's why I organize by size in my manga collection, in case you didn't know. It looks better in my eyes. But yeah, small nitpick. In terms of Berserk, if you guys haven't heard of it by now, you're missing out on one of the greatest manga of all time, unless you're Apollo Gray. But other than that, this is a great series. So nice to get 2 more volumes of Berserk. And to finish it off, this is probably the manga that I've been asked the most about to pick up. And I've had, you know, dozens of comments tell me that it's amazing, asking me, have I read it, have I bought it, what's going on? And I finally broke down and said, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I've heard a lot of great things, so why not? And that is Fire Force. But I decided to not just get the first volume. I went ahead and bought volumes 2 and 3 as well. So hopefully it's good. I have the first 3 volumes of it. So yeah, looking forward to it. As I mentioned, a lot of people have told me to read it. So I'm excited for it. I did read the premise, and it actually sounds pretty damn awesome. So yeah, nice to get Fire Force finally. And with these 3 volumes, that is the entire manga haul for basically, for me, the past month. Like I mentioned, I didn't buy almost any manga in January, so this has been about a week's worth of purchases. And I have a couple more things coming in tomorrow. I can show those off at a later date. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. But until next time, my name is InsidiousSwede. Take care.